Let me be really clear on this. If you follow what I'm about to tell you and you follow it for the next 12 months, your life is going to look significantly different. There's no more trying a new technique each week. No more wondering, am I doing it right? No more starting over and over and over every time you hit a wall. This is the only manifestation video you'll ever need. And if you truly get this, there's no going back. This is exactly how I went from poverty and scarcity, from stress, from overwhelm, from the ups and the downs, to becoming a top 5% earner, and in the next year, a top 1% earner. This is exactly how. My name is Giselle Baumet. I have a background in applied neuroscience at the master's level, and I get to work with brilliant women entrepreneurs as I help them to open up to abundance by removing the blocks and the patterns that prevent it. The manifestation space is flooded. You've got hundreds of techniques: scripting, the pillow method, quantum jumping, subliminals, and so many more. And you've probably tried at least one of them. But to be honest, having also experienced the same, most of those things are for short-term wins, not for long-term change. Why? Because none of them change who you are. They might as well be party tricks. The key thing I had to learn is that if your identity and the person you believe yourself to be at the deepest core level doesn't match now the reality you desire, it won't stick. You can manifest something, heard it from you. I manifested 10,000. And then in a couple months, you're back to a low. I was there too. Okay, so I speak not just from the many stories that I hear you tell me, but I was there too. I can relate. You'll simply just default back to the identity that your brain and your nervous system feels safe in. That's why you just need one process, not 100 tips, just one process. It can be that simple. A process that rewires your identity, regulates your nervous system, and matches you to the frequency of your desires. But not one or the other, all three. For one, I want you to drop completely the idea that manifestation is about getting things quickly. And instead, I want you to think of manifestation as identity embodiment. And it's the process of embodying that new identity. Because, my love, your life is just a reflection of your identity at its core level. If you take the next 12 months, and I know for some of you, especially when you're still stuck in the idea that manifestation is about getting quick results. When you're stuck in that idea, you're stuck in the old patterns, and you will find the ups and then the downs back again. We're going for long-term results. We're not going for short-term wins. Yes, if you take the next 12 months to do the rewiring of your identity, you win in life. You will never look back and go back to your before. You are a completely different woman if you do this. There is no going back. And you won't find yourself just winning sometimes and then coming back down. You'll just keep winning. You'll just keep going up because your reality has changed its baseline. So we're not spending the next 12 months calling in our desires. Instead, you are spending the next 12 months becoming. That means you are not manifesting anymore from desperation, urgency, or survival. These are ways that just keep you in fight or flight. It essentially means that your nervous system is always scanning for danger. We're not manifesting from that place anymore, because in that place, your brain will deprioritize expansion. It will literally just focus on survival. And way too many brilliant women entrepreneurs have been surviving versus thriving. So we're moving you over to thriving. So this is the core. Truly, this is the only thing for you to focus on. It's just one process, not 100 manifestation techniques. Again, remember, my love, we're going for long-term change, not short-term wins. We want this to be your always, not your sometimes. You're going to start with your foundation. We're going to regulate your nervous system. You will spend the time that you need to be continuously regulating your nervous system. When I work with the women in my mastermind, I end up spending 90 minutes to 2 hours with them so that I find their coding, and then we start the process of decoding it, and I give them a prescription. And I call it a prescription because people take prescriptions seriously. But it's a set of unique practices and microactions that start the process of regulating nervous system and decoding their story to shift into a new identity. But a big part of this is nervous system regulation. As I moved into becoming someone that is now a top 5% earner, when I used to just get occasional wins, when I used to be at feast of famine, when I came from extreme poverty and scarcity, and I'm now a 5% top earner, existing as my truest self, I did these things. I worked on regulating my nervous system, shifting it out of survival mode. That happened through nervous system regulation practices. That is your foundation for the next 12 months. You'll feel yourself through that process becoming more and more regulated. You become more responsive versus reactive. Things don't overwhelm you like they had before. You experience less stress, more calmness, more grounding. You don't sabotage yourself with anxiety, with fears, with doubts, with nervousness, with worries in your body. As your nervous system begins to feel that sense of safety, you're also recoding your identity. I'm not talking about affirmations that you can't even really believe. I'm talking about believable upgrades. So instead of saying, I make $20 million this year, when you've made $120,000 last year, you're going to say things like, I am safe to receive more than enough money. And then, because it's more than just words, remember, we are also rewiring your identity, then you will take micro actions from that state, from the woman that you just said you are. I am safe to receive more than enough money every single month. You will take micro actions from that state. It is the micro proof that you give your brain through your micro actions that starts to shift your identity. This is how I did it. Nervous system regulation, showing my new identity, not just with words, but with micro actions and micro proofs that this is who I am now. If you're wondering exactly how does that look like for me, for you, then you definitely want to do the 14-day challenge that's completely free. And as you become active in that community, you unlock the ability to get a monthly power hour with me where you can ask me more of those details. Now, I hope you're still with me because this is really important. It is not one or the other. We're talking about long-term change. You're also going to work with your energetics. This is where you live it until it becomes boring. You embody it now. I have often said, especially to the women I work with in the mastermind, that by the time my reality is what I had claimed it would be, I'm not like, wow, because I've actually already been doing that. I've already been living as that identity. I have already been enjoying the becoming process. So yeah, when I'm there, yes, there's that moment of, wow, this feels surreal. Like it feels surreal, more like because I can see it in my physical world. That part feels surreal. But I've already been that person. So I celebrate it. And because the becoming process is so much fun, I level up. Just to be in another becoming process, I will level up. I enjoy the reality that I've created. I absolutely enjoy it. But it was using the same process that I'm giving you and that I give you in all of my videos. I'm speaking not just from working with hundreds and thousands of women, but also from using my expertise in neuroscience and applying it in my own life and seeing the results. And I get so much joy when you also experience that, because you do deserve to be living the life that you desire now. This is where your daily nervous system care is priority, where you continue microactions along the way, and where you celebrate. You celebrate everything as if someone handed you a $50 million check. You celebrate everything because you signal to your brain and to your reticular activating system, oh, she likes this. Let me focus more on that. By the end of 12 months, you're no longer manifesting. You're just living it. You're living it, and this is life. What I want you to do is stop chasing the next trendy manifestation trick. Stop focusing on, I need to get quick results now, so I can prove to myself that manifestation is real. That just comes from desperate energy, and it makes it really hard for your brain and your body to work for you. Stop doubting whether this will work. Enjoy the process. What do you have to lose? You're just gonna become a better version of yourself. And let's see what happens when that happens. And I want you to remember that you are unstoppable. And once your nervous system, your brain, and your energetics equally agree, there's nothing left for you to call in. You just become the person who has it. And if you want me to walk you through every step of the way through this process, working closely with you so that you become unstoppable, then that happens inside of my mastermind. You simply apply to see if you qualify. Remember, my love, this is all you need to do. This is all you'll ever need to do. And the next step is yours, because you are majestic. You're so much more powerful than you realize. And I cannot wait for you to realize it.